Welcome. Everyone's kind of getting settled in the room, and I see so many wonderful familiar names and faces. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Debbie. Wonderful to see everybody here today, or hear, or read. All right. Once we get more people into our rooms, we got about 24 people in here so far. We'll kind of go over the agenda briefly. We'll introduce ourselves, and then we'll introduce, uh, well, you all will introduce yourselves to us. And that's going to be a lot of what the meeting is today, is getting an idea of who's a part of the conversation. Hey, Linda. Hey, Katie. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Shelby. Hey, John. I'm excited by how many people I don't know today. That's even cooler. Not that my friends aren't wonderful. Thank you all for being here. All right. I think we can go ahead and start diving in a little bit. I expect a few more people to popcorn in. We've got about 30 people in the room now, and we're going to start slow so folks can get caught up very easily. So I'm just going to go quickly through our agenda today, and then we are going to introduce ourselves, our AACoN coordinator group today. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. After we get through introductions, we're going to spend half an hour in a breakout room that will be moderated by our AACoN team. We'll ask some questions there. Moderators will take some notes just to kind of get some of the high level impressions that you all share. The large room, this conversation here is being recorded. So if you don't want to be recorded, now is the time to turn off your camera or to mute yourself. You are welcome to participate at any level and through any devices that are comfortable for you. After we do our breakout sessions, we are going to do a share out for about 10 minutes or so, and then take some time at the end to talk about grants from the Arts Council. That's going to be sort of a fixture of our get-togethers, not necessarily grants from just the Arts Council, but we'll talk about other partners who are invested in this work too. And then we'll land on our prairie of ideas, where we get a chance to share interesting ideas that have come out during this meeting, or cool things that you've always wanted to try regarding accessibility and the arts. So that's just kind of a holding space. Other people have called it a parking lot of ideas, but we didn't like that so much. So Shelby said, how about prairie of ideas? And I like that. I like that. Okay. So we've got 34 people in here now. I think we can go ahead and get started with introductions. So I'm going to start with myself, and then we'll do a little popcorn, and we'll make it through our AACoN group, and then we'll get to you all. So I am Joshua Brown. I am a program coordinator here at the Nebraska Arts Council. I'm the accessibility coordinator in addition to education programs coordinator. That means I go to conferences around accessibility in the arts, and I manage our accessibility grants. I take meetings from people who want to talk about how to make their programs more accessible, or if they've had an issue come up in the work that they're doing. I love having those conversations. Outside of that, I have an awesome 3-year-old. I love to play synthesizers. I paint when I'm feeling really good and have a lot of energy for it. I love making art, and I love facilitating other people's art making. Those are the things that I really care a lot about. I would love to now pass the mic and hear a little bit from Carrie Nath.
Thank you, Josh. Hi, everybody. My name is Carrie Nath, and I'm so excited about the number of people in this room. It's awesome. So thank you again for taking time to be here today. I am, I guess this is the word, though I've heard now even this might be outdated, but a multi-hyphenate artist. But I'm an Omaha native and started off, I was going to be an actor, and then I fell in love with arts education. And so I've been doing that for about 40 years. I work in movement, voice, theater, and dance, more mostly in a theatrical setting, but it doesn't have to be confined to that. So, but I really started getting introduced to the world of access in the early 2000s, and so have worked kindergarten all the way up through seniors, um, and really from a personal philosophy standpoint. Um, we all deserve to be able to participate however we participate, right? So when we look at making things accessible or accommodating, it's about making it possible for everybody in the room to bring their joy and their creativity. And so that's what I love most about this work. So right now, a few of my things, I moved back to Omaha during COVID, and or while we were in lockdown of COVID. And so I work part-time at Blue Barn Theater, where I'm their director of equitable access. Someone said to me the other day, well, that seems like a title that's going to go away pretty soon. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Um, but director of equitable access. So I do engagement events around the shows that we produce, and also connect with the access community and try to make sure we're engaging everybody in the Omaha metro area and looking at ways to branch out beyond Omaha metro. And then I consult at OPA, Omaha Performing Arts, on their new Nebraska Arts Education Center. I see my buddy in the room, Fran Salou, in building out programming for the opening of the new center. And then also I'm on the NAC roster for arts education and serve on panels for Nebraska Arts Council as well. So those are a few of the highlights. But my all-time favorite thing to do is forest bathe, get out in the forest and hike and just take care of the soul that way, whether it's by myself or with a group of friends. And love to do that. And I do love, like my nephews say, Aunt Carrie's got her stories. I love watching stories, reading stories, participating in storytelling. So those are some of my, when I'm not in the workroom, things that I love to do. It's great to see you all. And again, thank you for being here.
I'm gonna pass the mic to Anne and say thank you so much for being a part of this, Anne, because you're my boss and I just drafted you into this a few days ago. So I appreciate your help. Anne's gonna be helping us run some breakout rooms today, and I'll let her finish introducing herself.
I'm thrilled to be here, and today I get to be your assistant. So there. I'm Ann Alston. I work at the Nebraska Arts Council. I see lots of familiar faces, which makes me happy, and maybe I'll meet some new people too. I oversee the education programming for the Nebraska Arts Council, plus a lot of other duties as assigned. And just delighted to be here and see how I can help out with the breakout rooms. So looking forward.
Thanks, Anne. Shelby, do you want to round out our intros for the AACoN team?
Yes, happily. My name is Shelby Sire. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I identify as chronically ill and disabled, and I use identity first language. If you're curious about that, you can check out our access guide, which has more vocabulary, and we can add to that glossary together. Um, I'm a cultural access worker and an ever-emerging multidisciplinary artist. I'm from Omaha, and I too am just so thrilled and hopeful seeing how many people are committed to this. And I can't wait to see what we come up with together. The whole point of this is for you all to tell us what you need, and that's why we're here. So I'm the founder of AACoN's Accessibility Consulting, which is a creative accommodations consultancy that practices accessibility as an art form and as a way to deepen relationships. I'm mostly concerned with the accessibility of programs, policies, and places and people. So that kind of covers everything. And I would love to work with all of you. Importantly, I often employ participatory design, which means that it's not just me being the expert in the room, it's getting the disability community involved to make decisions from the very beginning that will inform how money is spent, how buildings are designed, how policies are created. So, uh, I would be so glad for those of you that identify as chronically ill or disabled, I would be glad to pay you for this work. It's really, really fun work, and it is changing our community and shaping the accessibility of our community. Um, I got into accessibility. I've probably always been disabled, but I didn't know it until I had the frameworks as an adult. But I got into accessibility through sensory theater. I was part of the onset of the sensory theater program at the Rose. And then as an intern, I founded the sensory friendly program at Film Streams. And it all just made a lot of sense to me. And then I had several years of being bedbound. And I self-taught myself the wonderful world of accessibility, and I'm always learning. So that fuels my practice. Uh, Current and previous clients include people like Laureates and Gardens, the Omaha Public Library's new central location, the American Psychological Association, the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, the Franklin Institute out of Philly, and Food Forward, which is a food justice organization out of LA. So I'm lucky to get to work with people across the US, but also globally sometimes. Um, in terms of my artistry, I make improvisational quilts. I draw beds and chairs because those are two of my favorite assistive aids. And I currently have an exhibit up at the Lala exhibition space at Alley Pointer Macchiato Architecture Space. It does feature creative accommodations, and I would be thrilled to give you a tour. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'm going to drop my email in the chat. I love friends. I love new people. So I would love to form a relationship with you. Additionally, if you're finding any component of this, uh, if we could enhance it in any way, if we can accommodate you in any way, regardless of whether or not you identify as disabled, come to me or Carrie. That's exactly why we're here. We're going to be evolving as AACoN emerges with you. So let us know what we can do to adjust, to invent, create. We're here for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Shelby. Just a couple of things. First, I want to say big thank you to Sam Hinney, who is keeping us all together today. He's running the door, he's managing our breakout rooms. We couldn't do it without you, Sam, so thank you for being a part of this. Also, a little just a reminder, if you're not talking, please mute. If you need help with that, feel free to reach out. If you're unable to mute and there's like background noise or something, Sam may mute you in love. It's not personal. We just we want to make sure that communication is easy today. And a big part of this inaugural meeting is kind of getting to know each other, deciding what kind of things that we care about and want to do with this group. I'm just looking at this group. There's a lot of people who are experts in their fields across disciplines in arts and disability spaces. So there's a lot that I can learn from you all and that we can learn from each other. And that's really the idea behind this group is pure sharing what has worked, what has worked poorly in the past, and also including people who are not experts. So as we continue to move forward with this group, I will continue to put out feelers in different kind of corners of the arts and accessibility world to continue expanding our group. That being said, we may need some more help moderating rooms in the future. So if that is something that you'd be willing to do, that would be really helpful because we're trying to keep it to 10 or less in a breakout room, and we'll be just at that today with because we're at 37 people, 38 people. So and people will pop up and pop out, I'm sure. But if we have a group of 80, these breakout rooms are not going to work as well with just 4 moderators. So we may be asking you in the future for some help. With that being said, I would love to get some introductions rolling, and I think we can go if you can raise your hand physically or via the hand raise feature. I'm just going to call on people with hands up and ask you to introduce yourself by saying your name and your organization affiliation and why you're here today. And we've got 20 minutes for this, so try to keep it to less than a minute. All right. Ricky, I see your hand up there. Why don't you start it?
Figured I'd start first as I'm shoveling salad in my face to get it out of the way. Um, but yes, hi, I'm Ricky Pointer, which funny enough, when Shelby mentioned Allie Pointer, I was like, they spelled my name wrong because it doesn't have a T. Anyways, I was joking. But yes, I'm a deaf and disabled content creator, writer, public speaker, accessibility consultant, advocate, basically all of those things under one umbrella. And I've lived in Omaha since summer of 2023, and I've been here running around town trying to get mostly right now, politicians or candidates, people like that, being accessible in their campaigns and social media, things like that. And yeah, I'm happy to be here, learn some stuff, give some stuff, and yeah.
Excellent. Wonderful to meet you, Ricky. Welcome to the group. I saw a couple of hands, but I see right now Aubrey has got his hand up. Can you introduce yourself, Aubrey, today? I see you got a cat too. We're going to have to hear the cat's name as well. And if you want to introduce yourself via the chat, no problem. You can do that too.
All right, I think I got it unmuted. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Oh no, you're now muted again.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, apparently I can't go back to the camera and stay unmuted. Um, the cat's name is Onyx. He's being a pain in the butt, trying to attack what I'm pushing. Uh, I'm Aubrey. I live in Norfolk, Nebraska. I do a lot of volunteering here in the arts community, the art center, the theater. I'm trying to get more involved with the downtown arts program they have going on here. Um, I am a disabled artist, and I do most of my work here at home, unless it's crochet, then I can take it with me anywhere. And yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Aubrey. Debbie Greenblatt, I see your hand up here today.
Hi, I'm Debbie Greenblatt. My husband and I live and work in this old 1925 schoolhouse in Avoca, Nebraska, population 242. And we really do not ally with any particular organization. It's just too crazy, although we've been involved with things with the Nebraska Arts Council since before we were married. So it's over 40 years we've been doing stuff together and learning a lot. But listening to what everybody else has been doing, I feel lazy again. So it's crazy. But anyway, my main interest initially in signing up for this group was because I have a brilliant student from Schenectady, New York, and she is blind. And I've learned so much from her. I just figured, oh, there must be another pile of stuff I need to be aware of. So I'm hopeful about the progress of the group. Thanks.
Thank you, Debbie. Linda.
Good afternoon. My name is Linda Bonenkamp, and I am the Institutional Giving Manager at the Omaha Symphony. And I'm also the president of BFF Omaha, and we manage the Benson Creative District here in Omaha. Born and raised here, I am also former NAC employee, a former Josh, actually. So I know quite a bit about the accessibility grants. And that's really where I got interested in this work. So trying to see what I can learn from all of you here and how I can introduce that at the Symphony and at BFF. I'm also a visual artist myself. I am an avid gardener, love painting, going on walks, all those things. So that's me.
I think I can pretty safely say, Linda, that we probably wouldn't all be in this room together if you had not laid all the groundwork for this successful group. So thank you so much for the work that you
Stop,
have
Josh, you're gonna
always
make me
been
blush.
doing. Well, welcome to AACoN and thank you for your work. Wendy, I see your hand up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Wendy Kaiser. I work at Omaha. I'm the Community Opera Fellowship Manager, and I get the pleasure of working with a team of teaching artists. And we collaborate with a lot of different community partners and groups that have some unique and special needs. And so, always looking to learn and grow more and make sure that all of our programming is as accessible and inclusive as we can. So, nice to see you all.
All right. Jeremy, I see your hand. And Fran, I saw your hand a minute ago. I keep seeing your hand and then calling on somebody else, so I'll get to you next. Okay. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Johnson. I am a professor here at UNO. I teach art education and studio art, and was invited by Josh because I've applied for some accessibility grants in the past. Initially, I started learning about this because my wife is blind and got into accessibility that way. Then during COVID, some things happened and I became disabled. So now here we are.
Um, Thank you so much for being a part of the group, Jeremy. You've done some really amazing stuff at UNO to bring accessibility and the arts together. I don't remember the name of the project, but making a lot of reproductions of art that is touchable is such a cool thing. And we really love to see the work that you did there. And I was an undergraduate during one of those shows too, so I actually got to see it, and that was exciting. So thank you so much. All right. Fran, I'm coming for you.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Fran Salou, he, him, his pronouns. I serve as the executive artistic director of Circle Theater, which is a 42-year-old company that works with individuals of all abilities here in Omaha, and we're expanding through Western Nebraska. In fact, taking our first tour out this weekend. And prior to that, I spent 25 years at the Rose Theater as their director of accessibility, and I found out that this is my 20th year on the NAC roster and 10th year on the South Dakota and North Dakota roster. So been a long time in this world.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fran. You've done so much for the field in Omaha, and I'm excited to hear that you're working across the state. So excellent stuff. Becky, I think I saw your hand up first, and then Jerry, I'll come around for you.
Excellent. My name is Becky Poles, and I'm the Tour and Outreach Coordinator at the Museum of Nebraska Art in Kearney. And I'm sort of filling in as the interim Director of Learning and Engagement as well, as we are waiting to fill that position. I am really interested in this group for a number of reasons. I have a child who has a disability. But I also, especially with the tours here at the museum, I really want to be able to make tours accessible for everybody. We have started some classes as well. We're doing, excuse me, adaptive art classes with Community Support Network here based out of Kearney and Hands of the Heartland, which is more of the Tri-City area. But yes, thankful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. I think you've also been a part of leading some of the creative aging work that's gone on at Mona too, which we are so thankful for your participation, and that is a really wonderful program. So thank you for that. And Jerry, it's your time to speak.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jerry Winkleman. I'm a native Nebraskan. I live in Omaha, work in Lincoln, and I've made that commute for many, many years. So I feel sort of comfortable in both communities. I am the Director of Administration and Finance and Human Resources here at the Lincoln Airport. And so we work on a daily basis to make sure that our space is accessible to the travelers of Nebraska. But we also have a newly renovated terminal with huge space and blank walls that that are just calling for artwork. So that really led me to this group, and I so appreciate being with you all today.
Well, you're gonna You're gonna find some friends here, Jerry. You're gonna find some friends, that's for sure. So thank you for being here today, Amy Mather from the Omaha Public Library. Thank you for being here. May you introduce yourself to us.
Hi, thanks. Amy Mather from Omaha Public Library. I am the partnerships manager. Hi, Shelby. So I would echo a lot of like what everybody say. This is a learning journey for us, and we're so thankful to have Shelby like really helping us along this learning journey to make art and everything more accessible, thinking about our programming. And I'm really curious about how this is all going to unfold. So I'm just grateful that this group is here and that we're going to continue the conversation. And I'm excited to see what we all come up together. Thanks so much.
Yay, thank you, Amy. And personally, I think that libraries are some of the most important centers for the arts in the state and in like all of history, honestly. The written word unlocks so many things for people and so many other things besides just the written word go on at libraries too. So we want to see more people in the library world joining us here at AACoN. I think you have a lot to add to the conversation. So thank you for being here. Shelby Otis from the Joslin Art Museum. How are you today? Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm really glad to be here, and thank you so much for starting this group. I think it's really needed. I head up the studio programs at Joslin Art Museum and also work with Linda on the BFF Omaha Executive Board, where I'm the education chair. Former OPS art teacher and adaptive art teacher. Always looking for ways to accommodate students and to provide more opportunities. So that's what brought me here today. I'd love to explore ways where we can make our classes and all of our community events accessible for everyone.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Shelby. And we got a little while longer for introductions, but I want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to share. We can always compress into other areas. Um, I want to hear from everybody. And Lynette, I saw your hand up. Would you share with us next?
Hi, everybody. I'm Lynette Fast, and I'm from Lincoln. I'm a retired art educator, K through 12, for 30 years, and I was fortunate through all 30 of those years to work with some very progressive adjustment, OT, amazing staff. And so through my 30 years, I had inclusion in my classroom the whole way. Um, I'm very fortunate of that. And I'm dropping in today because I do want to see all of that accessibility continuing. I have started my second career, well, 8 years ago now, as a working visual artist. And so I show in the Omaha and Lincoln area and around the state. And painting, mixed media, I guess I should call it, and jewelry is my main focus now, along with any kind of marketing, promoting of the arts. I just want to be aware of and, be kind of on top of things. So I'm here today.
Awesome. Thank you, Lynette, and thank you for being one of the many artists that are joining us today. You all have a lot to teach us, and I'm excited that you all are a part of our group. But now we've got a lot of hands up, so I'm just going to go in the direction that is most comfortable for me, and that's left to right. So Lauren Medici, share with us today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Medici with Opera Omaha, She, Her, Hers. I'm the Director of Partnerships and Programs here. So I work a lot with Wendy and the Holland Community Opera Fellows and our community partners, as well as experiences otherwise in our engagement programs and performances and how do we think about accessibility, training for our staff, things like that. I've been doing this work since 2009, when I started my career working in New Jersey and was very involved with the Cultural Access Network there, and then got a Master's of Arts in Medicine, and have been doing that work. I worked in a hospital system in New Jersey doing healing arts programming before I moved back to Omaha. So have kind of been in this world my whole professional career, and I'm really excited to see this group starting in Nebraska. So thanks.
That's terrific. We definitely have some things to learn about the healing arts in hospital. That's a huge topic in the arts administrative world right now, as I'm sure you're aware of. So thank you for being with us today. Wendy Hamilton, you are next on my list, and then Hannah Bell will be up after.
Hello, I'm Wendy Hamilton. I use she, her pronouns. Thank you so much for um, putting this group together. I believe I got on somebody's radar via Shelby, so thanks for that. I am a nonprofit fundraiser by trade, currently looking for my next opportunity. If anybody knows of anything, you might be able to see by some of the artwork in the background. I'm a recovering dancer. I have a dance and theater background, and like many performers, I decided I did not want to audition for the rest of my life. So I got into development, fundraising, which is basically the exact same thing. I audition all the time. And I got into accessibility and inclusion through my first big girl job at Imagination Stage, which is a youth theater arts center outside of Washington, D.C. in Bethesda, Maryland. And I became a member of the acting troupe called Wings for actors with mixed abilities and fell in love with it. And uh, that led to, this is part of like my origin story, but that led to my mom getting an official diagnosis on the autism spectrum. And so that opened up a whole new world of advocacy and storytelling as a neurotypical person of a child of a parent on the with ASD. So I have a lot of experience in storytelling, theater as therapy through playback theater, which I don't even know if that's a thing in Omaha so much. Fran is nodding. I think we met a long time ago, maybe, and talked about playback. Yeah. And then I also am a person with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder, which is a disability, and I'm learning more about advocating self-advocacy, not only advocating for my mom as a person with a disability, but myself. And so I'm very active in the EDS community and the autism community. And so all of these worlds of mine intersecting is really, really exciting. And I also know some of you as visual artists when I was at Girl Scouts and did an art auction. So hello again, and nice to meet the rest of you. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dancers Rock. Hannah, tell us about yourself today.
Hi, afternoon. My name is Hannah Bell. Use she, her, hers pronouns. Can everyone hear me okay? Right, it's the first time using these headphones. I am a 30-year-old white woman with blonde hair wearing green over-ear headphones and a green button-down shirt for a visual description. My cat Ray was on my lap. She's brown. I work for Lincoln's Symphony Orchestra as the Community Partnerships Manager. I wear many, many hats, but the biggest two are development and educational outreach. And I look forward to listening, learning, and doing what we can to implement in our small organization with our small team. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Hannah. I see Haley Hawes' hand, so let's go to Haley next.
Everyone, Haley Haas, she, her, blonde woman wearing, can't remember, a black top. I am the executive artistic director of Anastasis Theater Company. We have a mission to lift new voices into the community conversation. And when we founded in 2018, we started with radical accommodations because we wanted to make sure that anybody from the communities we were working with, which is primarily people impacted by food and housing insecurity and folks impacted by incarceration, wanted to make sure that there were no barriers to their participation. And so we pay a stipend to everyone and then just ask, what do they need? Transportation, translation, childcare, food, whatever it is, we make it happen. And so I'm so excited to see the growing number of people excited about making the arts accessible. Thank you all for being here.
It's great to meet you, Haley. I've heard a lot about Anastasis Theater, but I think this is my first time getting to talk to you. So thank you for being here today. And Hannah Dema, we met recently, and it's so good to see you again. Tell us about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah Dema. I am a visual artist here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm a paper maker, and then I do painting, printmaking, all sorts of stuff, anything with paper. But I also work as the artist liaison for the Lux Center for the Arts here in Lincoln. And my job really is just trying to connect people with opportunities at the Lux and also what the Lux can do for folks in the community. And I'd love to be able to reach all sorts of populations. So I'm really excited about this. Thanks for putting it together.
Thank you, Hannah. And Britta, I owe you an email, and it's good to see you here today. Tell us about yourself.
Hello. It's so good to see everyone. I'm just so in awe of all of the faces here. I see a lot of friendly faces and a lot of new faces I'm excited to meet, and I'm just like awestruck. My name's Britta Tullifsrud. I has started in Omaha as a theater person, traveling around doing a lot of non-traditional teaching artistry. And then I wound up in mental health care. So that's kind of the hat that I'm wearing right now. I am a clinical mental health clinician who works predominantly with neurodivergent folks and the queer identified individuals, trans youth. And so anyone who's interested or who I'm so in need of partnering some of our kiddos with creative organizations for a space to have. Right now I'm in Lincoln, so a lot of the organizations, Hannah, I'm so glad we have, and I see some Lincoln representation, but I know there's a lot of stuff in Omaha. So this is my call for folks to bridge that Omaha-Lincoln divide and make some partnerships happen.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here, Britta. And that goes for everybody and everywhere in our state. There are a lot of Omaha people here today, yes, but we are really excited to welcome people from all across the state. And if you are someone who knows somebody who is doing great work outside of Omaha or someone who would benefit from being part of the group, welcome them on in. So thank you for everyone who is from not Omaha today. Not that it's not a great place, but I just want to get everybody in here. So thank you. Let's see. Katie, hey, how are you?
Doing all right. Katie Bradshaw. I'm the Grants Management and Outreach Specialist with Humanities Nebraska. I'm in Lincoln now, but I lived in Scottsbluff for 13 years. So I worked for a couple of arts and culture organizations out in Scottsbluff. So I'm aware of some of the challenges of accessibility in rural areas. We are at Humanities Nebraska, we're constantly trying to grow and learn and how can we do things better. And so that's why I'm here.
All right. Thank you so much, Katie. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves here? Yay, Mary Gibalisco. Thank you so much for getting your hand up. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for the rousing introduction. My name is Mary Gibalisco, and I'm the proud executive director of Y Arts, and Y Arts has been around since 1990. We provide accessible, inclusive, and equitable art experiences for participants ranging from 3 to 103. We do after school programming. We work with older folks, those living with a disability. We strive to make our programming unified, and so we just meet everybody where they are at. We do about 3,000 workshops a year with our amazing 40 teaching artists. We also have we advocate for the disabled, and I know that Ben Pearson's here on the call. I'll let him introduce himself, but he's with our Kids on the Block program, and we go into the schools and share what it's like to live with a disability. Our puppets and puppeteers have the matching disability. We've expanded due to demand, going in and talking with older folks because they missed out on that bit of information and they want to be informed. So I am here today to find out more and how we can better serve our populations. Um, and I'm also, I heard Ehlers-Danlos. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome as well, and sometimes low vision, but um, and so I like to remind everybody under the sun that we are all future disabled. And so let's all, work together and make sure that we include everyone at all times. And we do dance, visual arts, storytelling, theater, if it's an art. Uh, we do it with Y Arts. That's
You're here,
that's all I
Mary.
got.
Thank you for being here today. And since Ben was mentioned, we'll go to him next.
Hi there, my name is Ben Pearson, and I'm an autistic actor and theater maker based in Omaha, Nebraska. I am the program associate with the Kids on the Block puppet troupe from Y Arts. We go around the community and help to explain either like elementary school students or like folks in retirement communities what it's like to live with a disability. I am also a member of Vroom, which is the mobile sensory theater currently based at the Omaha Community Playhouse. And we provide like a personalized sensory experience for folks with disabilities. Um, yeah, it's been, I love helping to work with like accessibility in theater and just getting to hear all these different perspectives. So this has been a real treat to be involved in this.
Thank you, Ben. Good to get to know you a little bit, and I'm looking forward to hearing some more. There's still a few people who have not gotten a chance to introduce themselves. Denise, I saw your hand up first, and we'll go to Kelsey. All right, Denise, are you ready?
Trying, thanks. Hi, sorry. I'm technology challenged today because I'm having to do this on my phone. Long story. So I hope you can hear me okay. I am director of the Merriman Performing Arts Center in Kearney. And I will just say that we were one of the pioneers in Kearney to install a hearing loop on the main floor of our theater for those people who struggle and have hearing challenges. It was very, very successful. And then in 2021, one of our COVID projects was to install a loop then in our balcony. So if anyone wants more information about that, I am happy to share.
And I was looking for my unmute button there. Thank you for the advertisement, Denise. We love to give people money for hearing loops. So if you need that, give me a call. I'd love to help. Kelsey Weston from Omaha Performing Arts. I saw Kelsey at
Hello.
Lead last year.
Yes, yes, that is, I think that's where I met you for the first time, maybe, Josh. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Kelsey Weston. I'm the Associate Director of Volunteer Services at Omaha Performing Arts. I oversee the front of house department for the Orpheum and the Holland, and our department focuses on patron experience, our volunteers, creating supported volunteer opportunities, and everything from accessibility accommodations, sensory inclusive shows, sensory guides in our buildings, a whole plethora of things. So my personal experience, I do identify as neurodivergent with sensory sensitivities, and I started my sensory work at the Omaha Children's Museum about 10 years ago, and since then have kept doing it and love doing it. And so I also am a teaching artist with OPA, and I am happy that this is happening and we're all able to kind of work together and have these conversations to make some change happen.
Thank you, Kelsey. Leslie Levy.
Hello, I am Leslie, as Joshua just said, and I am the director of the International Quilt Museum at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. And I am excited to start this journey and conversation with all of you as one of the challenges that we have in the museum is we change our exhibitions so often that we really it's hard for us to do audio or to do
braille labels or to do some of the other accessible information that is so important. So I'm hoping that through conversations and meeting and making new friends and new colleagues, that we can figure out some ways that are really meaningful to reach all of our audiences. So I'm just excited to listen and learn and to work with all of you in ways that make sense and that are beneficial. And if there's ever anything that the museum can do for any of you, I'd love to know that. And yeah, yes, Shelby, yay quilts, woo! It is fun to, right? To one of my favorite parts of my job is going and meeting artists and having their studio visits. So I'm loving those of you who have your cameras on where I can get that little peek into your world. So thank you for that. And I just look really forward to working with all of you.
All right, Leslie, thank you so much. And shout out to the Quilt Museum for lending one of your curators to help with the Names Quilt project at Blue Barn. That was awesome. Thank you for your help with that.
You bet.
Is there anybody else who wanted to introduce themselves here? I think we're going to probably trim our breakout room discussion down a little bit because I want to respect everyone's time. We did book the room for an hour and a half, so if we want to hang out and talk until 3:30, we can, but don't feel obligated to stay past your commitment. Is there anyone else?
I'm going
Yes.
to read Jane's comment in the chat. Jane, thank you so much for participating in that way. Hi, everyone. I am having issues with my microphone and can't get it to turn on for my introduction. My written introduction is my name, Jane Nesbitt, she, her. I am the Education Director for the Institute for Holocaust Education. I am here today to learn and to see how we, the Institute for Holocaust Education, or IHE, can improve and make our programs accessible. Thank you for understanding while I try to get my tech to work. Listen, tech not working is very much disability culture, so this is fantastic. I think did we have another chat participant? Nope, that's it. Jane, welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Sam, if you would shuffle us off into our breakout rooms here. Oh, but before you do, hold on. The question I would love to hear you guys address today, you all address today, would be, what do you want to see happen in our group and in our state? I think that's what we're going to have time for. We'll bounce out of our breakout rooms at about 5 till, so that's not a lot of time. So let's make it short and sweet. Okay, Sam.